Hello again.
Hello.
Again. Yeah. Here we are again. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And just to introduce ourselves.
My name is Katelijne van Dongen.
From
Holland.
I'm Rikke Lyngdam from Denmark. And together we have this, we have a lot of passion for working with the NVR-based thinking around people's lives and family life and young people's life and children's lives. And but today, and we're gonna go a little into something that's very important for you.
Yes.
And when you came up with the name for this podcast called the Soul of NVR, I would say for me, you are the Soul of NVR.
Aww.
Because when I saw you present together with actually some of the families you work with the first time I saw you, I really felt your heart in it. And I felt like that you were in it for so many reasons, but also for really, really trying to connect with these families and trying to be helpful. And And since I got to know you, I can just tell that it's what I saw was true. You are very, very dedicated to working with the specifically area. So today we're going to unfold that.
Yeah,
Your
thank
passion
you so
about
much
this.
for the introduction, and that's
So
moving. Yeah.
So take us to your heart.
Take you to my heart.
Yes.
Well, today I really want to address a subject that's closest to my heart. On the matter of NVR, and that is to prevent teenage and young adults suicide attempts. And this is where I've been working for the last several years and even decades. On making a change in that field. Because the first job I ever got was in a closed ward. And it is almost 25 years ago. And I was already working with children who were self-harming, doing suicide attempts, and I already then felt I want to make a change for those kids.
And were you a therapist at the time?
Yeah, I was a therapist, but I was a social therapist, so I was working in a group with kids from 12 to 18 years old. And some of them were psychotic, some of them had eating disorders, but most of them were very, very alone and had a lot of thoughts about ending their own lives. And ever since that time, I've been working in this field in several institutions, also in the forensic psychiatry, and the last few years in the mental institutions. And I have my own practice now. Yeah.
You've been writing about this subject. You've been teaching others, and you're training others, and it's like so if you should say a little. What made you keep going, and how did NVR come into this field for you?
Well, I saw kids after a suicide attempt in the closed ward I was working, and I was a family therapist already, that didn't feel like they could go home. They could go back home again because they were afraid.
They were afraid.
They were afraid of themselves, afraid of how their family would react. They were afraid of doing another attempt. They didn't always have control over that. Also, what people might think about them, how they might feel about them. And the parents, they were also afraid of taking their child back home because they were also afraid. They lost confidence. How could we not notice this? How could we not see our child was struggling so much? Or how can we cope with it? How do we deal with it?
So some of them were hesitating, also wanting to have their child back home, even though, of course, they want to be close to the child, but afraid of the...
They were afraid to take the child back home, and also thought they were safer in the closed ward. And I knew this is what was not true, because in the closed ward, and you were already so alone, and then you're in a hospital, sometimes for a few weeks, sometimes for months. I even saw kids being there for a year. And losing the connection with everybody. And that made me so sad. And I really wanted to change that. But I thought if we want to change that, we cannot only focus on how to help the child dealing with their emotions. We also need to help the family. How to feel more confident, how to feel more strength, how to feel more support. And it changes with us. We have to support them more.
So back then there wasn't a program, was there some kind of therapy offered to the parents?
No, not to the parents.
Only the children?
Only the children. Wow. Sometimes there was like meetings for parents just to explain to the parents what treatment their child was doing and how to understand where their child was, because the children got DBT program, dialectical behavior therapy. And
so they were kept informed.
They were kept informed, and they were explained something about what the treatment was like, but it's not the same as treating the parents themselves.
And did they come with all these questions to you as professionals? What do you do when she come home? And so you really sensed their need for some support?
Yes, and I also sensed the professionals' need for support.
Yes.
Because they were also feeling insecure. How can we support those parents? And even sometimes the professionals and the parents got into fights.
Yes.
Because it was about who's taking the responsibility now.
Of course.
If you say our child is going back home again, then and what if she dies?
Yeah.
And you send her home.
Yes.
So this was difficult. And I was already then working with NVR, and I've seen the impact in how it can change families' lives. But nobody was doing it in the field of suicide prevention, because people say you cannot resist to self-harm or suicide attempts.
That was it.
That was said to me. It's impossible.
Yeah. Like it would escalate?
It would escalate. Okay. If you do that, if you say to a child, you have to stop harming yourself, it's invalidating.
Yes.
And the child might feel misunderstood. And then right after setting the boundary, it could do another attempt. So the professionals were also scared about working with NVR, even when they knew about what it could mean in other situations. In the case of suicidality, people didn't want to work with NVR.
They were really afraid of pushing things, that it would be more dangerous.
Yeah. So that was what puzzled me. If it could be so helpful, and it's all about regaining strength and calmness and support, this is exactly what those parents need. How can we not? Why can we not try it? So that's why we started to work with a very small pilot group.
Were you the first in Holland trying this?
I think so. In a group form.
In a group.
Because some professionals tried it already in individual cases, and they were not always successful. They felt about it's not working. But that's why I thought we have to do it in a group, because those parents feel really, really alone. They feel like I'm all alone. I cannot share with other people what is going on in my family, because sometimes parents feel ashamed. How can my child try to end his or her own life? What does that say about me?
Sometimes even maybe they're keeping a secret about this together with their child, because the child is ashamed. So we do not open up about this.
Sometimes the child says, no, you cannot tell anybody. So they feel trapped that they can't talk. But also sometimes they did tell to somebody, but then they got like advice, oh, you should do more of this or you should do more of that. And this is what people don't need.
They were loaded enough.
They were overloaded.
They were overloaded.
Yeah. And the last thing you need when you feel overwhelmed is more advice.
And did you also yourself had a little doubt about, was it a little dangerous to do this in a group, or were you hesitating a bit as well?
Well, I felt really strong. This is a good idea. Yes. But I also took the advice of my colleagues serious.
Yes.
So then I started looking for what has been written about it. Yes. And I found very little.
Yes.
Only 1 or 2 articles ever written about this subject. And I was studying the world literature, and I couldn't find a lot of information about it. And then I thought, if it's so delicate, then we have to also investigate how it's going. We have to ask parents questions.
Yes.
And and we have to monitor it.
Yes.
So this is how we started, with a small pilot training. and monitoring it, what made the change.
So you measured the outcome in the parents' feeling from the...
In a pilot.
Yeah.
Because I changed, I adapted NVR a little bit.
Yes.
Still use the same pillars, but then add extra things to it.
Yeah. So what are your elements?
I added some elements. One of them is working with experienced parents and children, because what I saw that a lot of parents lost hope and children lost hope. But if you see somebody who's been in your shoes last year or maybe the year after, the year before, and who's still alive and who's still talking about it, and that is very empowering.
Yeah. So parallel to the professionals, you have experienced families who join you in the training.
Yes. Experienced fathers and mothers even, and children also. Children telling to the parents who start a new group what helped them. What did their parents do that made an impact on them, wanting to work for life again instead of the other way, the opposite way. So this is one of the elements. And also adding to the pillar of de-escalation, you have 5 pillars.
Say them again.
Presence.
Yes.
And in presence, it's important to not only be present in crisis, but also be present on other times.
Yes.
So in presence, we added routines and rituals, who are also part of relationship recovery, the other pillar.
Yes.
And also validation is part of relationship recovery, because validation is not always a part of how you work with NVR.
So validation as trying to understand what is this about for the young person, and also just validating, of course, the life and the person, but also validating the behavior.
Both, and validating the emotions, validating the behavior, validating the context, and also trying to understand that this child is not doing this to manipulate or to hurt you or even hurt himself, but it's a way of dealing with intense emotion. Actually, sometimes it's a way to survive.
Yeah.
And then if you can validate that, then it's also, then you accept it. So acceptance is also a part of making a change.
Yeah.
But if you don't accept how it is now, then you're also not so motivated for change.
Yes.
And then you have support.
Yeah.
Creating support. And what a change was that we made is that the child is present in the supporters nights.
Yeah.
So we organize supporters meetings. But before that time, in the supporters meetings, there were only parents and their network. But now we bring the children, the brothers, the sisters, and they all bring network.
So it become a family thing instead of something for who can support the parents.
Yeah, yes. and create support for all the family members, not only those who are in the treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why was that important?
Because you see sometimes when, in the case of suicidality, brothers and sisters make themselves invisible because they know my parents are trying to help my brother or my sister survive. So it's too difficult for my parents to even deal with my emotions. I'll just go away. So
it was to bring them forward and also bring them into the light and not being in the shadow of all this crisis, and
and
give them a voice.
Give them a voice and also less powerless, because if you notice all the things happening in your household, you must imagine sometimes parents have to go to the hospital after an attempt several times a week or after self-harming, and then these kids just stay home sometimes alone. Or even sometimes brothers and sisters sleep with their sister or their brother to protect them.
Yes.
So they won't do anything bad. Or they are the confidant of their brother and sister who explaining to them plans how they are going to do it.
So it's really to bring us to go very public, as we often say, with the support pillar, right? It's also a way to go public with your needs, but also just being in what situation are we in our family. Yeah. And so and in your support nights with the group, it's not only one family, it's families bringing a lot of people. You mentioned there could be so many people in a room. You hardly have space enough.
Yeah, and it sounds really if it's strange if you have like all these people with this heavy subject, but sometimes it's also very warm.
Yeah.
And it gives them a good feeling because you feel belongingness.
Yes.
You feel we are all in this terrible situation, but we understand each other, and that creates you're not alone.
Yes.
And this sometimes I hear from parents, it gives them strength.
Yes.
Yes.
It's really reparation in action.
Yeah.
Already there. Just being invited to that. Yeah.
And we make a picture.
Yeah.
Of the supporters.
Yes.
So this is also a reminder you're not alone. And you can always look at that picture and feel, oh, those people are here for me.
Yeah.
And what we added, it's not only talking about suicide or suicide prevention or NVR on the supporters night, but we also make a family support plan.
Yeah.
And then make a plan for every family member, not only the child who has done the suicide attempt, but also for the brothers and the sisters and the parents. What kind of support do you need?
Yeah.
What kind of support do you miss? What kind of support you do have, but you don't really like? Is there something you'd rather not have? And at the end, we make a plan. And you present the plans to each other. So we learn from each other's plans.
I imagine that is not in the beginning of the program. You do that?
No, in the beginning of the program, we do talk about support, but it comes back every session.
Yeah.
But we work towards the supporters nights, and we have 2 supporters nights.
Yeah. So you keep the idea warm. It's gonna happen, and you have 2 supporters nights.
And the first question could be tell it to one person who you trust and who doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
And ask for support instead of the whole group all of a sudden. And then you also have the resistance part. Yeah. You have to set the clear boundaries, but before you set the boundaries, you work on the relationship repair. And therefore also we use the routines and the rituals to show the child that you care every day in little things.
And what you say? What's your typical kind of work with establishing the boundaries and the resistant part? How does the resistance sound?
The resistance is very loving.
Yes.
and it's also very warm because we do want a child to feel loved and seen and understood.
Yes.
And of course, you cannot understand if you've never been suicidal yourself as well as the child does. But we really want the parents to try to understand it as good as they can.
Yes.
That's why we give them psychoeducation about what is suicidality, what is self-harm, why is it important to know that? Because if you understand it, it helps yourself to regulate yourself better, to not act out of furiousness or out of powerlessness, but to stay calm, because we want parents to feel anchored again. Yeah. And they don't feel anchored when this has happened to your child. You feel traumatized. You feel horrible. Yeah. If you feel maybe it's the worst thing that can ever happen to you.
Constantly alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
And traumatizing.
Yes.
So then to be an anchor and to regulate, and it's too difficult.
And I can just see for myself like how this very serious and life-threatening matter, like if affects all the pillars, right? It's hard to be resistant. It can be harder to include supporters, but it's also self-regulation. Also, must be such a hard job. People have been in crisis often for a long time.
Yeah,
maybe they don't even remember how everyday life used to be without the crisis.
True. People forget. Yeah. People forget who they are themselves, because after the attempt, most of the people don't feel like they exist themselves anymore. Yeah, because their only task is to keep your child alive. Yes. And this is every second of the day. This is the constant reminder. So, like, for instance, if the phone is ringing, it's triggering. Yeah. If a door is closing or you hear footsteps on the floor above you, it's triggering, because you think, oh, is she awake? What is she doing? Where is she going? Do we have to close the door? Do we have to put away all the pills? Do we have to take away all the knives? Those are all things parents are doing to keep their child safe, but then the house is not safe for themselves anymore. Yeah.
So it's a really tricky situation, right? Because the parents are, of course, so alert. The whole system is just pinging out. Yeah. But also you have a child that really needs the parents, but maybe also not a signaling in the right way. I need my parents. Yeah. They're signaling, I don't need anyone, or I don't want anyone to be close to me, or I cannot cope with it. And so what is What do you hear parents really longing for when they meet each other and they meet you? And
well, what I've heard from parents is it's already very helpful, even the first session, to be in a group where other people are there and they understand because they know, because they are going through the same things. So, for instance, one time a father shared with the group, "Thank you all for listening," because after that I felt so much lighter, because when I talked, I saw other people doing like this. And he said it made me feel so understood, that I could share my deepest fears and people were just listening and understanding. And I knew that they know what I'm talking about. And this is so helpful. But it's not only talking about, we also practice together. We do exercises, we do role plays, we give homework even. So this is also very helpful to practice with each other and to give each other feedback, to ask each other questions. But I think that the belongingness in this group, of we are in this group and we support each other, is really important, because the pillar support in most of the cases has fallen flat. It's not up anymore, because the child is withdrawing often from the contact, but the parents as well. Because of the shame, because of the burden, because of the fear. And people also are afraid of sharing it with other people, and then they don't understand, or they say something mean, or maybe they will leave us. So we want to protect them, because if they know about this, they also won't sleep anymore. So we just don't say it. I hear a lot of parents not telling this to the grandparents.
Yeah, I hear that too.
Because, you hear it too? Yeah, because they say, "Oh, they're so old, and we don't want them to worry. And if they know this, they won't sleep anymore." So they don't tell, but then they also don't go. They don't visit the grandparents, because what if they ask a question and they don't want to lie? And
some families say that life has almost like stopped several years ago, and the things that we used to do, we don't do anymore. Walking on eggshells, and we don't even do Christmas or invite people over Christmas, because we're so afraid that it will trigger something, or that we cannot at the same time contain how our child is doing. So it really impacts everyone, doesn't it?
Everyone, it's isolating. And in research shows that the children who try to commit suicide are often very alone. Even if they live in loving families, they can still feel alone, because they feel like they cannot always share how they feel, or they are afraid of sharing how they feel, or as in schools or other places, they don't really feel like they belong.
And what else is the characteristics? What is there to look for with the girls and the boys? And
the differences, you mean? Between girls and boys? Well, I've learned from the psychosocial autopsy from the Lifeline in Holland, 113 suicide prevention. They did a really interesting research, and they interviewed parents and also other loved ones from children that had died by suicide. What were the signs when they look back that there were? And this was very different for boys than for girls. In this research, they saw that most of the girls, 77%, had harmed themselves before the fatal suicide. A self-harming behavior. So this is all suicide attempts, taking pills, doing things to harm your body. So they went often to hospitals, and most of the boys didn't give clear signs. Most of them, the parents say, it came out of the blue. We didn't see it coming. So they were better at masking it for a very long time, not showing emotions, not showing pain, not sharing pain. But what they sometimes did was taking drugs, like smoking, alcohol, and laughing. Sarcastic jokes.
About their own situation?
About death, about dying, but then making a joke about it and then laugh about it with the group. So nobody took it seriously.
But they really send out some signals?
They sent out signals, but we only know there were signals when it was too late.
So what has that awareness on that knowledge, what does it mean now for the training you do and for the professionals you meet?
Well, it's not only for the professionals and for the training. My message is actually for everybody, because we don't want to be too late anymore.
No.
So we have to look for signs earlier than when people got into treatment. And that means teachers in schools talk about emotions, make it normal that boys also have emotions, that boys can cry. Just as well as girls can cry. If a girl is self-harming, take it seriously. Don't think, oh, she's just wanting attention, but talk to her, get help. But also be kind. That's something everybody can do.
Yes.
Look into each other, give each other contact, presence. And it could be a neighbor just bringing a cup of tea, or a friend who texting you every day, how are you doing? Because what people, if they are afraid to talk about it and they are afraid it is going on, they back off.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do is back off for somebody who already is alone.
Yes.
So just offer your presence.
Yes.
And I think people are so afraid of saying the wrong things.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
What if what I say triggers them?
Yeah.
Or what if what I say makes it worse? So they don't say anything, and then they don't come over anymore. And we believe, and there's also been research on it, that talking about it doesn't make it worse. Talking about it opens up for help.
That's such an important point. So there's research makes this even more clear for us that it's better to talk about it. You cannot harm so much when talking about it. It's better than being silent.
It's better than being silent. So don't be afraid to say the wrong thing.
No.
You don't even have to talk about it like you have all the right words. Just offer your presence. Just be there, listen. You don't have to give advice. You don't have to have the perfect words. Your silence, being present, is even more important than staying away or worrying of saying the wrong things. Yeah. So this is probably the most important thing. I hope this will change. Yeah. And creating safer places for kids, that they feel safe to share emotions, and that it's not strange for boys to cry or
It sounds to me like now you cannot imagine doing this work and have the impact if it was not for also your connecting authority, the NVR based. Means there's something that addresses the whole family, but also makes that scaffolding and that security net to hold again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's also an important point I must mention is pressure in schools.
Yeah.
Because in 66% of the cases, the children reported much too much pressure from schools. So this is also something in society we can do. How can we give children more a safe school environment?
Sure.
And social media, of course, plays also a role. But schools have an important role in educating kids, and not only about history or math or...
And what do you mean by safe school environment? What is that?
Emotionally safe.
Emotionally safe,
yes. So everybody can be themselves and be welcome and doesn't have to be afraid to be punished or put out of the group.
Yes.
Because belonging to this group is what is the most important protective safe factor, is you belong. And actually, when belongingness is broken, then it's a risk for suicide. So Joyner is a researcher who did research on this subject, and he said that the lack of belongingness and the presence of burdensomeness is very threatening for children.
Yes.
They feel like a burden. They feel like I cannot contribute. My life
would be easier.
Yeah, life would be easier for others if I were gone, but I don't contribute. Yes. My life is not worthy. So when you were asking what did you change about the training, we added the golden baskets. Not only focusing on the behavior that has to stop, know, this hand, but also the loving hand.
Yes.
And this is important. These are terms. When you describe the loving hand, the golden basket, we call it, is it in terms of relationships.
Yeah.
It's about what I love about you, what you make me happy because of.
Yes.
And it has to be things that are not like skills.
Yes.
It's not because you're good at math or because you're the best football player. But I love you because you're so kind. For your loving soul, for your super nice things you do for your brother, or I enjoy with you walking in the park, and the little moments that count. You want to keep them alive and share this with your kid. Why you are important.
Yeah.
And that's often what we forget to do in daily lives.
So you call it the golden basket?
Yes.
An exercise for parents to...
For parents.
To connect with the relationship and then connect with their child again, and also the meaning. And maybe also feeling like a parent again.
Yeah. And sometimes, and this is also heartbreaking, parents can't describe that anymore.
No.
And this is what suicidality can do to a family. If you are so afraid of losing your child, it's also very scary to think about why you love her so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes parents get detached instead of attached.
Yes.
And it's logical because of this process of grief. It's a living loss. Yeah. Because you have to live with a child that is still alive, but you are preparing for losing and are already losing your child bit by bit by disconnecting. And
as a protective mechanism, of course,
and you cannot imagine this future anymore.
No.
It's a protective mechanism, but sometimes professionals don't see that it's a protective mechanism, and they are angry with the parents. Why are you not visiting your child anymore? Or why are you reacting angry all the time, or even not showing up anymore? And it could be protecting themselves and even protecting their child.
So I want to ask you two things now.
Yeah.
Because I think both questions are really good. You can choose from them, or you can choose which one you'll take first. First question is, if you know someone that what you are afraid of, is do the person really go around with these thoughts? Or if you meet the parents of some young people and you want to know a bit more about their life situation, what could you ask? All right, that's the first question. No, you have to hear both. Next question is, what's your absolute top 3 to 5? You can pick 3 to 5. Top 3 to 4 or 5 things that you would never include in a parent training, as you call it, when you work with the parents in a group, because it's so crucial and it makes so much difference. So probably there's lots of elements you said about golden basket, support nights, but now I'll give you a little time to think about some more elements. So these 2 questions, which one do you want first?
Do the second one first, because then I remember this the best.
Yes, okay. Do that. So the second one is, what would you absolutely not miss doing when you work with parents in this group?
And you mean what you always have to do then?
You do it because you just love it.
Yeah.
It's so crucial for you.
For me, what's a very crucial insight in NVR is, and what I thought was not always in NVR, is co-regulation.
Yeah.
And we need it, especially in the case of suicidality and also in self-harming behavior, because the child is in crisis and he is not able to calm himself. And in NVR, you have strike the iron when it's cold. We calm and then afterwards we talk. But in a suicidality crisis, sometimes you cannot go away.
Yeah.
You have to stay present. And what do you do then if you cannot leave?
Yes.
Then you have to regulate yourself. And the importance...
And stay close. Even though the child is desperate or ask you to go away.
And how to do that is so relevant. Because if you stay present but you're very not regulated yourself, you escalate more.
Yeah.
So you have to really learn how to ground yourself, how to calm yourself, how to soothe yourself, how to have also support for yourself so that you can do that. But once you do that, it gives you so much confidence that you can help your child, that even in the most difficult situations, you are able to stay present and guide your child. And before that, if you don't know how to react, sometimes I heard about parents who were freezing, who couldn't move anymore, who just fell on the floor because they were felt so powerless, so afraid. So I've seen really wonders happening when parents started to feel more confident. And a phrase that is really helpful is, I don't have to fix it to be present.
Yeah.
Because if your job description is for yourself, I have to fix this, I have to stop this, then you start panicking because you can't fix it. But if you can soothe yourself by saying, I don't have to do anything, I just sit here. I sit here with you and I breathe, and we breathe together.
That must be such a change.
It's such a change, and it's so helpful because the child feels understood because of the parent not judging, not being angry, and also not backing off, staying present.
So when we say that NVR is very much a doing thing, it's based on how we act. This is a very, very good example, right?
Yeah, and the attitude which and how you do it. It's also about not only doing it, but how you do it.
Exactly.
And why you do it. It's because you love her. Or him, and you want to be there for them.
And that's why I can imagine also that the training part of this, trying this in a group and trying to really do this co-regulation in a group, because I think there's some of these things that we have to try to do in a safe setting before we can actually do it in a crisis situation.
Yes, and like being in a group and practicing in a group is regulating already.
Yeah.
So animals also do that. I think I already told it in
the flocking,
flocking thing. Yeah, flocking is like something we can learn from the animals. And now in a group therapy, you do it with the parents together, talking about this thing, and working through it and practicing it. And it's very regulating.
Tip number 2.
Well, the first tip was actually, if you give trainings, do it in a group.
Yes.
Yeah, that was first.
Yes, and something with co-regulation.
Yeah, because because if you do it in an individual triact, then it's more difficult to get that effect.
They don't get each other,
and they have immediate support. So you boost the support pillar by doing it in a parent group.
Yeah. And you just see in parent group how the shame go down, and the relief go up.
Yeah, and they feel confident again. I'm not a bad parent.
Yeah.
I am okay. I'm a good parent. I can do something for my child. Yeah. So then do it in a group. Do co-regulation.
Do co-regulation too. Yes.
For me, the thing that I've added to the pillar relationship repair is work with routines and rituals.
Yes.
I would never stop doing that anymore.
No.
No, because
would that go for every parent, really?
For every parent, not only in the case of suicidality, because that makes it safe.
Yes.
I call the training safe authority.
Yes, you do.
Yes. So safe means you can be yourself, and I can still also be there for you.
Yes.
And I respect you, I support you, and sometimes protect you, but not too long until you can do it yourself again. So the how do you say, the changes between authority and autonomy, and have it both in the same time. So I saw a video about a little polar bear who didn't know how to swim, and when it fell into the water, the mom, she ran into the water, but she stood around it and with her arms open, but not helping this little polar bear. She didn't do that because she saw that he was already holding on to the rock.
Yes.
And she wanted him to have the experience. He could do this himself.
Yes.
And this is also about what you have to do.
It's finding the right support.
The right support.
Yes.
Support is not always, I have to protect you by doing everything for you.
No.
Support is also, I'm here, I'm present, but I see you can do it. So I'll just support you by being here.
Yeah.
And giving this trust, this confidence without going away.
Yeah. Exactly like a child who needs to learn to walk, right?
Yeah.
I am right here, I give you but I cannot do the walk for you.
Yes. Yeah. And why the routines and the ritual are important? Because they have like a routine. It's a structure.
Yeah.
So it's not always if I'm in a crisis and my parents come, and then the crisis goes away, my parents go away. Then you feel like I have to do really bad things before I feel supported.
Yeah.
It creates a cycle of behaviors that we actually don't think are helpful. Of course, they are dangerous. So if the parents start doing those nice gestures, even if something's going really well, and they don't stop when it's going bad, they still keep on doing it. It gives something to hold on to for the parent, but also for the child. The child can predict, and my parent is coming again tomorrow. It's not only today. And that makes it safe, reliable safety. And that's not only for parents, it's also for professionals.
Yes.
If you are working on a group with kids, make yourself predictable. When do you have time? And they don't have to beg for attention or do things to get attention. But you have to let them know when you're there for them. I think that is important. Routines and the rituals. And how was allowed for?
We were like 5 actually. But you always said the golden
basket, co-regulation,
routines and
rituals. Well, the vigilant care was also one, by you offering your presence, but not too loud.
Yes.
With support.
And then was doing it in a group.
Yeah.
And then I would like to add something to that, because I've heard you say something very, very interesting about the announcement that you do.
Yeah.
That is something that really took with me. Many people know about the announcement, the certain letter that you do in the resistance pillar, where you say what you can no longer accept, that the child stands with alone and you're going to be there, and what has to stop and what has to go on. We can use many kind of words for it. But you said something interesting, or not just interesting, but really mind-blowing for me. You said that after some of your research show that after the parents give the announcement, the self-harming or the suicide attempt stops.
Yes.
The child will still be in crisis and in suffering, but the actually like harming or the threat of death seems to change into some other kind of asking for help.
Yeah.
Just say a little bit about that, because it's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that's happened a few times. That a lot of times actually. That when the parents start making those relationship gestures and creating these routines and rituals, but also the reparation act by saying, "I'm so sorry that I didn't see how hurt you truly were and how alone you must have felt, and that we didn't see it, and sometimes we weren't there, or we did things to make it worse."
So the
validation, and also reparation, reparation gesture. But in the letter, in the announcement letter, we include those elements.
Yes.
So after that, you've created support and a support plan, and you make the routines and the rituals and the relationship gestures. You also validate, but then you write the announcement letter, and then in the announcement letter, parents describe all this. They say to their child, the golden basket.
Yes.
This is why we love you so much. Ever since you were born, you looked in this world with these wise eyes, and everybody loved you from the instant you were born. And then they describe in one small part that what makes them love their child so much. And then they also say, we see that you're hurting. And we see that you're hurting for a long time. And if there's anything that we might have done or have done that contributed to that hurt, we want you to let you know that we are so sorry.
Yeah.
And it helps if parents know what those things are and that they mention them. And then they also say, we're going to do that differently now.
So it's very much an announcement to themselves as well.
Yes, what they are going to do differently.
Yes.
And they validate not only the emotions, but also the actions. And parents sometimes think, okay, but if we validate it, don't we say, you can just go on and doing that. You can harm yourself if we validate it. But that's a different thing. You can try to validate it and still say, no, we want to change. But when we go to the part of the resistance, we do that in a loving way because we love you so much. We are going to help you finding other ways than harming yourself by dealing with these intense emotions, because we knew that you have to do this alone for a long time, and you're not alone. We are here, and we're going to be by your side, helping you get through this. And you always end with a hope. And hope doesn't have to be loud, because if it's too loud, the child might be scared. But it can be sensitive. So we know it's difficult, and we know you're hurting, but we'll fight together.
Yes.
and we'll support you. And then you can mention all the names of the people who are on a supporters night. And I think this is really emotional, and parents practice it before they read it to the child.
Yeah,
because to feel more confident.
Yes, so you really own it when you give it.
Yeah,
and it's your own. It's not like someone. There's no one else who wrote it for you. You wrote it for yourself.
Yeah,
and you know when it fits. Yes.
And sometimes parents write an announcement letter for themselves first. Because if there's a little child inside of you still feeling hurt yourself, it's more difficult to be there on the parent floor to read an announcement letter like this. So sometimes you have to first let yourself know you are okay, and I love myself, and I know I've been through a difficult time.
I heard one of the young people that you work with saying, something like, you can correct me, but I think I heard her saying, I knew they always said they loved me, but when I got that letter, I knew that they meant it.
Yes.
Can you recall what I'm
talking about?
Yes, I know.
That was actually Zoe. Yeah. And I know because sometimes she's on tour with me talking about the subject. And she says, this was proof to me that it was true. To me.
Yes.
Yes, because it's written down. They've taken the time to really think about what they wanted to say to me. But
then again, also just beautiful story, of not... That announcement is nothing by itself. It's all the other things that you talk about. It's the parent's ability to be present, being there, remain calm, being that anger. That's why it's a proof. It's more like it's more. It's much more than a letter and a promise for the future, because it's more. Maybe it's the announcement in this way is also always it's also a description of what is actually going on for us.
Yeah, definitely. And I like how you say that, because if you do the announcement letter, if it was so helpful right at the beginning, then it wouldn't be so helpful, because then if you do it too fast, then the parent is not regulated himself or herself, and is not also open to that emotion of love, because parents are surviving, so they sometimes are closed themselves. Yes. So before you are able to write a letter like that, you have to be open to feel the love again for your child, and to have the braveness of getting there.
How can we close 20 years of working with this within a short time slot that we have now? But I would definitely like to encourage people who listen to this and have questions to come up with more questions, because you know so much about this subject.
Yes, definitely.
So that could be really nice.
Yeah, and maybe because there's lots of more to say about it. Yeah. Maybe we could invite one time other parents, children who want to talk about it, because I think this is an important element of the training. That's not only my experience as a therapist, but especially the people who have lived through it. Can help others to talk about it.
So maybe we can just invite them for 1 minute now.
Yeah.
For the second question, or the first question, that was, what should you say to parents when you know that this is going on in your family? What can you say as someone from the outside? And what should you say? What should you ask for a young person? What when you say it's not so difficult, talk about it. Give a little hint to what you can ask for.
What you can ask for? Well, sometimes you can just say, "Hey, I see that you're hurting.
Yeah, I see you're hurting,
and I want to listen. I'm here, and I won't go away, and I won't judge. I'm just here." Because you don't have to make it lighter. You don't have to fix it.
Yes.
Your presence makes it lighter. You're like this little lighthouse who's showing a light by being there. So I think people get afraid of talking about it because they think they have to say things.
Say the right thing.
To say the exact right thing, but it's not necessary. No. Just offer your presence. Show your presence. There's a Buddhistic saying, the best thing you can offer someone is your presence. Yeah. How can you love when you are not there? I really like that saying. This means your presence is everything. Forget all the right words. Just be there, show up, and don't give up.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with me and everyone.
Thank you.
And thank you, Katalin. We'll get back to a lot more about these elements later. Thank you.